My doctor signed me off work for 4 weeks. I'm currently in the last week before I'm due to go back to work. And right now I'm struggling with low mood, depressive feelings, and a real lethargy and lack of energy. Hi, I'm Tara, and I am starting this channel, Seasons and You, because my life feels like it's been completely... I feel like I'm not living my life at the moment. It feels like my whole life has exploded after having a really stressful time at work, which eventually led to physical symptoms and so many things, which I might share everything that happened, I might not. Have really just had to stop and look at my life and go, it's not working. Why am I back here? I've had issues with anxiety in the past. I've been on medication, which I will talk about in future videos. But I really felt like I wanted to start this channel, one, for me to actually live in alignment and actually live with some intention. I used to do that years ago and I was much happier. And I think I've just let life and society just completely swallow me, which has now resulted in me being off work and feeling really down and upset about it and crying all the time. So I wanted to start this journey, I suppose, on here because it gives me a focus and something that I need to post once a week for kind of like my own recovery. But I figure if I can keep this up for 52 weeks, whether anybody's watching or not, it's something that I get to do to process my own feelings and to be proud to be able to look back at myself. It's November 2025 now, 2 weeks before winter properly starts. And I want to look back in 52 weeks at this first video and just see, hopefully, if I'm been living a year in alignment, which I'll go into now, and how and why I've called it Seasons and You, and how it could be something that you could come along on the journey with me, depending on what video you find at what point. But the second part is that it can hopefully help other people, because we, especially as women, especially if you're a mum like me and a working mum, life can just really get on top of you and it can become horrendous. And right now I'm due back at work next week and it's literally, and I know I need to go back, and I just feel like I need something to be able to ground me and to hopefully help others go along the journey with me. If you are struggling with stress or low mood or anxiety or any of those things, maybe if we all go along this journey together of trying to live our life intentionally and work out what do we want and what goals are we going to go towards. Because when we're not doing any of that, suddenly 2024, suddenly 2025, it's 2026, and 5 years have gone by and you're like, nothing's changed, I don't feel happier. So yeah, I've called it Seasons and You because I was having a chat with ChatGPT and I said, I feel like I need to get everything out. And I used to be a life coach, so I've gone through training and I used to have clients. I did it for 3 years and I loved it. So I know I can make myself better, and I know that I can help myself get better. I was talking to ChatGPT and I said, I really miss my life coaching, but right now we've got a mortgage, I need a proper salary, etc. But I really miss it. What's a way that I can use all those skills without, having a proper business and having clients and all the stuff that I used to have for those 3 years? That was just wonderful. I loved it. And then we were chatting backwards and forwards, me and ChatGPT, and then eventually it came up YouTube, because it means that it's something that I can talk about everything, whether someone watches or not. It's helping me, and if I'm at my best, then I'm the best mum, I'm the best wife, and the best friend, and all the stuff. So I wanted to use all the skills that I had and all the things that I used to do with clients on myself. And if anyone is watching, you can do the activities along with me. And it said, like, what are all your topics that you love? And I typed in mindset, manifestation, growth, healing, exercise. I've really got into exercise this year, and that's something I want to talk about on this channel because I used to do nothing. And now I'm consistent 4 or 5 times a week. And there's a whole process for how to get there. And I'm really excited to dig into that. And I said all these topics, motivation and mindset and all this stuff. And ChatGPT put it into 4 headings for me. And then I was like, well, there's 4 seasons. So I was like, could I link me trying to live a year in alignment with the seasons? And we were riffing back and forward. And then eventually I was like, yeah, it's about seasons and it's about me. So let's call it Seasons and You. So it doesn't roll off the tongue that easily. I might change it later, but it does what it says on the tin kind of thing. So the 4 seasons are obviously winter, spring, summer, autumn, and we're going into winter in a couple of weeks. So we're the last 2 weeks of autumn. And winter, every video in the winter season will be like around 13 videos, and that's all focusing on rest and manifestation. I've got my journal here, and spring is going to be about mindset and renewal. Summer is about movement and expansion, and autumn is about reflection and journaling. So much, I think, is about, oh, it's January 1st, it's New Year's, and we need to get our goals and go to the gym and do dry January, when actually, if you're in the UK, it's the darkest, hardest time to try anything new. So I figured it'd be really nice to set goals and live in alignment and look at your intentions and set goals based on the season that you're in, rather than trying to force yourself to do it when it's getting dark at 4 o'clock, right? It's at the moment, we are in darkness by 4 o'clock. So as we are coming towards the end of autumn now, it's like mid-November as I'm recording this, I think it would be a really good time for us to like just take stock of our entire life. And it's a really quick exercise. You basically write down these headings. So grab your journal, pen, or come back to it if you're sort of listening to it on a walk or something. Physical health, mental health, friends, family, love, personal development, money, and physical environment. Love meaning relationships, like partner, and personal development kind of, you know, are you meditating or are you doing anything good for you? Hobbies, that kind of all comes into that bit. So essentially you write down those 8 headings and then you just score them out of 10. And even just me looking at mine, 2 of them are much lower than all of the rest. So you might have some 7s and some 8s or 2s. And the 2s are the ones, or the 1s or the 0s are the ones that you want to be circling. So for me, I won't share every single thing about everything that's going on with me, but my mental health I've put as a 2 out of 10. I'm giving everything in this video, but I mean, I have been, you know, crying most days. I cry out just for nothing, well, what feels like nothing. So it means I'm clearly not okay. But because I've been so down, I'm not myself. I don't remember the last time I properly like smiled and like properly smiled or laughed. It's been a really, really, really rough time. And I just feel like I need to focus on my mental health as a priority. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And I've actually put in my personal development. It's quite low as well. I don't have any real hobbies at the moment. I'm not doing really anything for me. Like I am meditating, but because of my last breakdown, like 7 years ago, which I'll talk about in another video, I really got into meditation then. So that's kind of more of a habit. So I think something to do with hobbies, I probably need to find there. So what I'm going to do with that is that can be my focus for the sort of winter time. So winter, we're looking at rest and we're looking at manifestation. So it might not be that I start a hobby in the winter period, but it's like I start preparing myself for a hobby that I might start in the spring, you know, because it is just about us resting. But even just doing that, kind of just take responsibility of your life and you go, right, what can I change? What kind of things? Because if we don't look at any time in our life, if we don't look at what's actually going on, we can't change anything because we don't know. But if we actually take this time to do it, it means that we've got something to work with. I'm aware this video has been all over the place. I'm just going to get my tea. I had a strawberry tea this whole time, and I'm 10 minutes into the video or something. It's a perfect day to have a perfect day. I love these kind of cheesy mug titles, just so good. I feel like my videos will get more slick, more like better, you know, I feel like they will get better as the year goes on. And I'm really excited to look back at this video in 52 weeks. If I can do this, if I can do a video a week, it will show me that I can be consistent and it will help me feel proud of myself. I just know that because I find it really hard to stick to things and see things through. So this is something that I really want to do. And if I can help anyone else along the way, that would be amazing. So I'm just going to go easy on myself because I'm not a professional at this or anything. So yeah, do that exercise and then I will see you next week. Like I want to do a video about why slowing down is actually the key to speeding up. And it will be every Sunday. I've decided I'm going to release a video every Sunday. And obviously when we go, I'm quite spiritual. So if we go through new moons or full moons that are quite potent, I might do journaling sessions. I might do some live sessions on those. Obviously Lionsgate Portal next year, 8th of the 8th. We've just missed 11/11. So when there's like poignant times, I might do some different things. But ultimately, I want us to really go with the seasons and feel like we've lived a year in alignment. See you next week. And that will be the last week of autumn. It'll be like the end of November, and then we will really go into our winter, living in alignment for winter. I'm really excited because it means that December, January, February, I'll be getting back to work. You know, being signed off has been the worst thing I've ever experienced ever, in terms of the guilt and the shame and the stories I'm telling myself. So that's why I said my mental health is so bad at the moment, and I just want to get to a stage where I like myself again. I worked really hard on that the last time, on self-worth, but my self-esteem and confidence is really low, and I know that lots of us go through this, so hopefully together we can get better. Great, I will see you next week, and here is to a year of living in alignment.